What does it mean to live out the beauty of the gospel? Well, let me tell you about one young woman named Kim. When she puts the gospel on display, it gets the attention of the cleaning crew where she works.
I'm a high school teacher. I teach grade 10, 11, and 12. I go into my room every morning. The janitor asked me the other day, "What do? You shut your door when you get here? You're trying to lock people out?" And I'm like, "No, actually, I'm praying in my room." And she's like, "Oh." So I go through my room in the morning and I pray that the powers of the enemy would be bound, because there's so much evil being brought in. And then I pray that God's Spirit would fill that place and that those kids would sense the love of Christ. And it's amazing what God can do when you cry out to Him.
What a great example of life-on-life discipleship. This teacher in Canada is spreading the beauty of the gospel in the middle of a public high school.
My students will sometimes interview me for school, and they'll ask me all these questions and why do you teach and stuff. And I'll be like, you know what, to be honest, the reason I teach is to show you guys the love of Christ. And that's what I do. Like I think Nancy said, whatever your sphere of influence is, right? So whatever your sphere of influence is, if you can use that for God's glory, go for it.
Kim is limited in what she can say about the gospel at school. But when students ask, she's free to recommend resources to them.
When anybody comes and asks me and they're like, "I want a Bible study or something," then I'm able to give them that. And I may not be able to teach them and share God's Word, but God's Word speaks on its own right.
I'm so grateful that Revive Our Hearts has published resources that Kim can recommend to her students, like the workbook, Seeking Him.
That Seeking Him devotional book I went through it probably a couple times on my own, and then I have two girls that have kind of been mentoring or coming alongside, and I've gone through it with them, and I've just seen through doing it with them that it opens up their hearts to things. It deals with the past, so they're able to remove those things and move forward with God, clear things up.
Kim tells others about the resources from Revive Our Hearts because they've made such a huge difference in her own life.
Revive Our Hearts has really helped me. I read so much of Nancy DeMoss's stuff that helped shape me in my high school years and my university years. It helped keep me grounded, and it's amazing. I go for a run and I just turn on a podcast and you're kind of reading the titles and you're like, oh, which one should I listen to today? So I would just kind of choose one, and then it would be something that God knew I needed to hear exactly for that day or for later that day.
Revive Our Hearts not only supports Kim's involvement with students at school, she's also using Revive Our Hearts materials at her church.
We've taken the Lies Young Women Believe, and we actually taught it to our junior high kids a few times. We've used it. And then the sections that are specific to girls, we split up. And we asked the kids, we had done it once with the same group, and then a year and a half or two later, we said, "Oh, what do you guys want to do for Sunday school? We're finished this last unit. Would you like to do the Lies Young People Believe," we called it, or would you like to do something else? And they're like, "Let's do it again." So they've just really grown from that, and they're such solid teaching, and just stressing the difference between what you say you believe and what your actions actually say you believe.
Because Kim has been so impacted by Revive Our Hearts, she gets joy in giving back to the ministry.
You can never outgive God, right? And I love Nancy DeMoss's the example of her father too, right? First things first, giving God the first day of the week, the first of your paycheck, those things. And the reason I believe Revive Our Hearts is important to invest in is because it's important to have a ministry that is to the North American culture. There's lots of ministries overseas which are excellent and they do a great work, but there's something special about the need for biblical teaching within our country.